Good morning. This is Dylan Jovine from Behind the Markets. Today's Thursday. Happy Thursday. This week, Paul Tudor Jones, a billionaire investor, hedge fund manager, very wise human being, did an interview with CNBC that I thought was worth pointing out because there's a drumbeat of very big, professional, sophisticated investors that have been coming out in recent weeks and really ringing the bell and warning the country what is happening fiscally. And basically, the general theme matches the theme that we have been seeing here, that basically our country is at a crossroads. I'm not talking about a political crossroads. I'm talking about a financial crossroads. We have a couple of choices. And on Paul Tudor Jones' interview this week on CNBC, which I encourage you to watch, he said some very serious stuff, and I took some notes here and I wanted to share them with you. He says, we are going to be broke really quickly unless we get serious about dealing with our spending issues. And you know that is a bell that I've been trying to ring. And he thinks that there's a market reckoning that is coming on spending after the election, that we're going to have to get serious. And this guy also, not to touch politics, but he's also a Trump supporter. So he's a wise man. It pays to hear what he's saying, because in all chances, he's saying this kind of stuff to Trump privately, as are some other very savvy big investors. Now, in other words, we have to get our fiscal house in order. And, he lists in this interview a couple of points where we could stabilize debt to GDP. And he says, you have three probably most popular options. Let Trump tax cuts expire, which would save $390 billion. Raise payroll tax by 1% and apply to all wages, which would save $260 billion. And increase the corporate tax rate from 21 to 25%, which would save $75 billion. And I agree. In the interview, Andrew Ross Sorkin said to him, you want to raise taxes? And his answer was, I don't want to raise taxes. Of course not. Who wants to raise taxes? But this is what we need to do to stabilize spending, period. And interest this year alone is bigger. Just interest on debt payments alone is bigger than every line item except Social Security. It's bigger than defense spending. It's bigger than Medicare, certainly bigger than Medicaid. And if we don't get this in order, it is going to start to get bigger than Social Security. Think about that. That's when it's going to start hitting you directly. So interest payments are huge. And, look, no matter how you look at it, he says, and I quote, all roads lead to inflation, which is something that we've been saying for a while here, too. We see it the same way. I've come to the same conclusion that this man has and that other investors have. And why do we say all roads lead to inflation? Because basically what happens is when you start spending like this, people start to sell off bonds to demand higher rates. You guys can't get your house in order. For us to lend you money, you're going to have to pay us higher interest rates. So basically, you'll see a spike in interest rates if this is not gotten under control. And you're already starting to see some of that now. His argument is also something that we've talked about here a lot, the way to position yourself for this, which is more focus on gold, commodities, and things that are effective hedges against inflation. So I'm happy. This is the third or fourth person in the past month that I've talked to you about raising, and these are credible people. There's a lot of people, folks, out there who talk a lot of nonsense. The talking heads that are part of the Wall Street machine, the Wall Street casino. I don't really talk to you about them because they just want to be heard. They just want people to look at them. They don't have anything real. They talk a lot, but they don't say anything. But when credible, serious thinking people come out and say these types of things, I talk to you about them because these are people that understand the big picture and they're true patriots, people that actually understand that what's in the best interest of this country in the long term is to get our fiscal house in order. This is the last of these I'll do for a little while. I certainly don't want to get lectury. I don't want to be like that annoying. I don't want to be like Al Gore when 2000, when he's pointing his finger just lecturing at people. That's such a turn-off. And I certainly don't want to be that. But I am ringing the bell on issues that are very important to me. And because I'm an American, I understand I don't know why God gave me the ability to understand finance and investing and to explain things to people in a simple way, I've been told. If that is the role that I have to play in life, to take these complicated issues and really try to explain them so regular folks understand them, right? Folks like me, basically, I just have a gift for it with finance. If that's the role I have to play, then it's not my choice. I didn't choose this role, it chose me. And I'm going to try to do the best job I can without becoming Al Gore and lecturing everybody. So I'll stop with the lectures for a little while. This is the last one, at least this week. And I hope you have a wonderful day. Thanks for listening.